Okay, hi, my name is Alejandra Flores, and this is my marketing recap, where we're gonna talk about strategy, goals, and results. Oops, sorry. Okay, so this is the Chief Marketing Office expectation from the beginning, which is adequately spend the $5,000 budget, grow brand awareness, increase engagement, increase sales and revenue. And this is the social media goals that I personally select. And thus, well, the main goal was obviously to increase conversions and generate substantial revenue. However, we were not only supposed to focus on those two. So I have here other four main goals technically, which is reach new audience, post new content daily, collaborate with influencers, and drive website traffic, which this is gonna help us. Like this, they all need each other. So like for example, collaborating with influencers is gonna help us reach new audience, which is gonna help us drive website traffic, or post new content daily is gonna help us increase in the drive, make sure that the website gets good traffic. So we just make sure that we follow those main goals, or we try to accomplish them. This is a marketing plan that acts like is separated into four different categories, which is content strategy, paid media strategy, influencers partnerships, and community building. So for the content strategy, we're gonna make sure that we create a weekly content calendar, which means that it's gonna have the posts that we're gonna post for that specific week. So then here's like four type of contents that I personally, those are my favorite ones. So it's just product spotlight, testimonies, interactive posts, and behind the scenes, which is pretty straightforward if you think about it. So product spotlight is just promoting a specific product like a bag, and then testimony can be either from a customer or from a worker just telling their experience wearing one of our bags. And then content format, which is can be like an ad, just like a regular post and stuff like that. And then we have paid media strategy, which is gonna make sure that we pay for all this content. So it's just gonna promote special deals, events, and gonna make sure that the ads are paid. And that the good thing with paid media strategy with the good thing with paid media is that we can target specific audience. So we're gonna make sure that our posts reach the specific audience that we want in our community. And then with influencer partnerships, we're gonna identify the influencers. With my favorite ones are micro influencers. There are the influencers with like 2 to 10,000 followers, and we always have to make sure that they have good follow amount of followers in like specific channels like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, the channels that I always try to make sure that they have a good amount of followers at. And then we're gonna make sure that we track their performance just to make sure that we are not spending our time nor our money with them. And then we're gonna make sure that our communities it's loyal and that we're gonna make sure, that we're building it. So how are we gonna do that? So we're gonna create online communities and we're gonna make sure that they're engaged with content. So this is strategy, content, and channels. So this is technically just strategy that worked and that didn't work. So this was our strategy. So we were like our goal was to post in the hours of like 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. because there was the active hours of the platforms like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Pinterest, and more. And then that we were make sure that we are gonna post like at least 2 to 3 times a day. But Twitter, which we had to post like 5 to 8 times a day. We're gonna make sure that we post both paid content and organic content because we're supposed to work with both of them because it's like a balance. And then we're gonna make sure that we collaborate with influencers to, just reach new audience, create new content so it's not boring. And then these are the channels that we use. There's Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Pinterest, Twitter, and YouTube, which I kind of like rank them. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but Instagram was my third one because I thought it was just an easy platform to work with. And this is content that work, which makes sense because it's just visual. It promotes the bag, it makes sure that it looks pretty, useful, and that the people wearing it makes look happy. And this is content that didn't work. This actually was my fault because all of these content were good with platforms like Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, but the revenue in YouTube was zero, which was my mistake again, because I made them organic content and not paid ads. So we just didn't have any impressions. We just didn't reach any audience, which was my fault. So we're gonna make sure that the next time that we pay the ads in YouTube, that we will post paid ads in YouTube. And this is handling social media crisis. So we're gonna use Taylor Swift crisis as an example. So we're gonna make sure these are like the 4 steps or things that we're gonna make sure that we do in order to not lose like any followers or stuff like that. So first, we're gonna immediate response and acknowledge the situation. We're gonna make sure that they know that we know about it and that we're gonna do something about it. So we have to talk about the situation. Then we're gonna adjust the editorial calendar, which like for Taylor Swift crisis, we had to make sure that we post a lot of content talking about how we make sure that our workers are in a safe environment. And then that's how it's supposed to be, just any ethnical situation, right? And then we're gonna make sure that we engage with our audience just to make sure that they stay loyal and that they don't just leave us. And then we're gonna monitoring and adjusting everything. So like every new comment, every anything, we're gonna make sure that we see it and that we answer it. Like any negative comment, we're gonna make sure that we have a response for that, just to make sure that everything is clear and that there is no any misunderstanding. Then this is our results, growth, and revenue. So this is the growth. This is the total metrics for like the 12 weeks. So not the following present revenue. This is all in the week 12. And then this is a percentage growth from week 1 to week 12, which in my opinion is pretty good. And it could be better, but making sure that we follow the marketing plan and the strategy, we're gonna make sure that we get even better results. And this is how we're gonna use our budget. So I'm planning on using $500 for organic posts just to make sure that they're good quality and that that there's just good quality, the good visuals, and that we make sure that they're good content for the specific platforms. And then we're gonna spend $2,500 for paid content, like paid ads, just to promote any deals, events, and more. And then I like to work with micro influencers a lot because it's less money and their content can reach really good numbers. And with $2,000 is enough to so we can work with at least two influencers, which is I think it's a really good amount. Just work with 2 influencers weekly is actually a really good idea. So this is how we're gonna work. This is how everything is gonna be. And that was it. So, yep.